Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Montblanc 146 or Le Grand. My pen was bought second-hand. I've had it for a while, however I haven't had a chance to show it on the channel. This pen, my best guess is it was produced in around 1997 and it has a double broad nib. As it was used, I didn't get the usual box and so on. All I got was this clamshell case, which was probably a gift box of some sort. That's all I got when I bought the pen. Brand new, this pen costs around 1,025 Singapore dollars or around 740 US dollars. You can get it slightly cheaper in Europe. I believe you can easily pick up this pen for around that 600 to 650 euro mark. Bear in mind, for the 146 as well as the other Montblanc Meisterstück models, you can get the pen in typically in gold. You can get it in platinum, and sometimes you can get it in rose gold, and depending on the finish you choose, the price might vary a little bit. So before I look at the pen, I just wanted to show you dimensions wise how it compared with other pens out there. And the reason why I did this is because lots of times you might come across videos that tell you that the 146 came out as a direct competitor, or it was marketed as a competitor to the Pelikan M800. You can tell just by looking at it right now that it's shorter than the M800, right? And the nib somehow is shorter as well, even though both pens have a number 6 nib. It just happens that I feel that the 146 feels smaller somehow, right? More accurately, if you wanted to compare the size of the 146 with other modern pens, feel-wise in the hand and dimension-wise, it's very close to the Custom 74 by Pilot, even the Metropolitan. And if you're kind of comparing it with the Pelikan range, the length of the nib and the feel of the pen is actually very close to the Pelikan M600. While I have all these pens here, I just wanted to show you how small and cute the nib of the 146 is compared to the big brother, the 149. So I'll just put the other pens away and I'll concentrate on the 146. So the 146 came out, I've been reading some literature. It probably came out in the late 1940s. Best guess is probably in 1948, or maybe the very, very early 1950s. So it's a very old design. However, the pen has actually gone through multiple iterations over time, right? So there are resources out there on the internet to kind of show you which version of the 146 or what's the age of the 146 that you actually have, right, if you're buying one. So for my case, this 146 that you're looking at right now has the word Germany on the left-hand side of this clip. It has the serial number down here, printed very badly, if I might say so. It has the word PIX underneath the clip, and there's no mention of 146 anywhere on my pen, right? As it should be for pens that were made after the late 1990s. Most of the newer pens only say Montblanc Meisterstück or something. The later ones might even say PIX down here. So it's a visually it's just like any Montblanc or any fountain pen that you see. There's nothing very much special. I mean, the feeling of the the resin or the precious resin, it is a very smooth finish. And one other thing which I noticed about my particular pen, or Montblancs in general actually, is that the capping has this sound. So it's a very nice and pleasant high-end capping sound, if that makes sense at all. But what's special about Montblancs in general, at least that's my opinion, is actually the nib, right? Before I show the nib, the dimension of this particular pen, I'll put it on the screen as well. From the tip of the nib to the back of the pen, for my particular pen, it's about 12.45 centimeters. The section girth is roughly 11.2 millimeters. And the reason why I'm telling you the dimensions is because depending on the version of your pen that you have or you're looking at, it might be slightly different. Right? So holding the pen in the hand, it is a comfortable pen to hold because of this section down here at roughly 11 millimeters is a very ideal girth for me. I wish that the pen was slightly longer, right? I mean, at 12.4 centimeters to me is kind of like the borderline length. If I were to kind of use this pen for long periods, I would probably, post a pen, which I hardly do with other pens. However, the balance of the pen when uncapped, it will definitely be rear weighted because it's a piston mechanism down here, right? So the piston, just gingerly cracking open the piston, and you can see there's actually a kind of a bronze thread, brass thread down there. But what's special about a Montblanc in general, the brand in general, is the fact that, at least that's what I feel, is the fact that they are the only manufacturer left that makes nibs in the old way, right? So the reason why I bought this pen in the double broad can be seen when I kind of bring the pen up closer to you, right? If you look at the nib, it has a very italic or very squared off shape, right? Which most manufacturers, if you buy a double broad right now, you just get a round, kind of a round shape of the nib. Not many out there would still do nibs the old way, where they would give you this type of design of nib. So generally, when I buy German brands or non-Japanese brand fountain pens, I typically go with the broader nibs, right, for this purpose. So in terms of what's written on the nib, it says 4110, which is the height of the Montblanc mountain. You have the Montblanc rose, or the peak, sorry. You see 14K, and just trying to make out the last part. Probably it says 585. It's really, really small down there. On the other side of the pen, which is another way that you can use to date your Montblanc pen, it's just a typical plastic feet. Earlier pens came with ebonite feet. So I'm going to do a bit of writing with my new X-Book pad, and hopefully you'll get an idea of why I chose to buy this pen in the double broad. Incidentally, I've actually inked up this pen with, I thought it was a blue ink, but it looks really black. So it lays down a lot of ink, right? So this is a double broad. And, just looking at the way that this nib behaves, it's very thick this way. However, on the other, if I just draw it this way, you can tell that it has quite a lot of line variation. So I mean, you know, you can tell how this nib performs this way. Okay, so a little bit of writing. So very smooth with large amount of ink flow, right? Is what this pen has. I believe I inked this up with Waterman Mysterious Blue, and it, as you can tell in some portions, it looks nearly black, right? So that's the amount of ink that is produced by this particular pen. So what do I think about this pen in general? I mean, like I mentioned earlier on, the main parts about buying a Montblanc is you're actually buying it for the prestige. You're buying it, at least that's what I bought it for. In particular, I bought it because of the nib performance. I mean, it's very hard to kind of get this type of nib behavior anymore in the fountain pen world, right? New nibs, I'm just going to show you the new nibs out there. If you get very broad nibs, would kind of have this design, right, which is just a rounded design, compared to this particular pen, which has this type of design. I mean, talking about the end of the nib wise, right? So that's the reason why I bought this pen, to kind of experience that type of you know, writing experience. So some last thoughts about this pen. Price wise, it is an expensive pen at around roughly $740 US, or like I mentioned earlier on, you probably can get this cheaper in Europe at about the 600 to 650 mark. As per most reviewers or most people out there who talk about Montblanc pens, it's always best to buy these pens used. I think you'll be doing well if you buy this pen at half price, perhaps about the $300, $350 US dollar mark. You probably be doing a good job if you buy this particular pen at that price. And if you do so, you get a pretty reliable pen that writes very, very well with a very wet and smooth nib. So that was my quick look at the Montblanc 146. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that you would ever, you know, pay full retail for a pen, for this particular pen, right? Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.